what do you think are the biggest difference between composing for film and games?
Movies are a linear medium, so meaning it starts somewhere and it ends somewhere. And as a composer, you get more or less the finished movie because you have to write your cues for it and everything, and you write your music to a climax from something that is happening in the movie. And in a game, it's non-linear, meaning that it is completely up to the player to go where they want or do what they want. If they want to stay in a certain area for 15 minutes, the music has to stay interesting for 15 minutes. Then you have to think differently about that. You don't write climaxes in music that distract, because if you're just walking through a forest and there's one big climax and cymbal hits and bass drum and big explosions and everything, and you go, what is it? Where's the enemy? You know, so you have to always take that into account, and then take into account that if you write 5 minutes of music, it has to change constantly. You don't want boring stuff.
Otherwise, people also go crazy.
Right? Yes.
To hear that thing over and over, yeah.
And does it mean that you have to deliver your music in a certain way? I know for film music you have to deliver in stems, so in layers. How is it with game music? Do you also deliver your music in layers or in bits and pieces? How does it work?
Depends on what system the game uses.
How was it with Horizon Zero Dawn?
There we used stems because they sort of like looped all the music, but the pieces were so long and with so many different stories in them that they can cut them up into parts themselves. The fun thing with my stems for Horizon Zero Dawn was that that's almost everything was percussion based, so nothing tonal. So they could take all my tribal sounds and put them into underneath scores of another composer, because we're working with 3/4 composers.
That was one of my questions. I know there were more composers. How did you collaborate in a way, or was it all run by the music supervisor?
The music supervisor played a very big role. Yes, because I mean he is the spokesperson for all the people that matter in the studio, right? About how the game should sound, and he needs to make sure everything is on the same level. Yes, we talked a lot between each other, and on the composer days that were organized a couple of times, all the composers were in Amsterdam at Guerrilla, and we talked a lot. And I mean, it was very nice being together and learning the process of the other composers. And also, I mean, the thing is that with Horizon Zero Dawn, every composer had its own niche in the game, right? So Joris was for the main theme, the Flight did all the electronical stuff, and I was the tribal guy. So, and the music supervision was so good that everything just blended together perfectly.
Had you adjust tempos, for example? Because if you were putting your rhythmic stuff underneath the score of somebody else, then it should fit the tempo, for example. How did it work?
No. I think that the Flight used a lot of my stems, and they just mangled them so that they would fit in their music. They even did a remix of one of my tracks I think it was in a completely different time signature as well. So it was really fun to hear.
Is there a specific reason why they work with 3 composers? Because you all have your own style, and does it come together? Is there a specific reason? Because I understood from you that you made a lot of music for this game. You know, a movie is 1.5 hours, then you have maybe a half an hour or an hour of music. How many music did you compose for this game?
I think there was 4.5 hours of music in the game.
In total in the game?
Yeah.
So that's the reason maybe they work also with free composers.
Definitely.
Okay,
Definitely.
because you can't do it on your own. It's
Well, and also because they wanted different tastes. You know, they want to. I mean, there's music for this part of the world. There's music for this part of the world, and there's music for this part of the world. So they looked for people that they knew could write music in that fashion. It's not just. I mean, for smaller games, you are the jack of all trades. You're the one-stop shop, and they just ask you to do the music and the sound, and you just have to write in every possible genre. You know that you know that what the game needs, right? But for this, it was more. Yeah, I call it. Typecasting. Lucas will disagree with me, but Lucas van Tol. But yeah, I mean that's how it works for that level of games. Yeah, that's also the reason why it's harder to network on that level with people, because they know what they need, and they're not going to listen through a lot of.
They go exactly for it. Yeah.